Hello, busy dads and busy people everywhere. This is just a very quick video before I start my morning meetings to explain why I've recently modified my burpee technique very slightly in a way that I found to be very beneficial. I've had a couple of questions about this in the comment section, so I thought I'd go right ahead and make a video about it. For those of you who don't know, around about October last year I got an injury to my hand which prevented me from burpee training for 2 months. When I came back to my practice late in December last year, for some reason I found that for the first time I felt an urge to bring my hands to my toes before I began the rep. So let me demonstrate. Before, if I was doing say a 6 count, I'd just jump straight into the rep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whereas now, what I'm finding that I've been doing, and the same is true for my Navy SEALs, is I start the rep by touching my toes. That's not part of the count. It's something that I do as a way of marking the beginning of the rep. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay, so there's that toe touch before the rep actually gets started. Likewise with the SEAL, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Okay. And I'm not the only person who does this. There are some other practitioners out there who I've seen doing this. And here's what I found. The day after I did that workout for the first time, a 6 count workout with that method, all of my muscles were hurting. I was just coming back to training. But the muscle group that hurt most of all, which is never a muscle group that's really hurt from my burpee training so much, was my hamstrings. And what I realized is that adding this toe touch to the beginning incorporates a hip hinge movement that mimics the Romanian deadlift. And it gives you some stimulation to the posterior chain, which is quite hard to get through a normal burpee. Okay, a lot of people have the worry about burpees that they are anterior biased, that they don't hit the posterior chain as much as they would need to be a complete full body exercise. And of course it is true that they are going to hit the front of the body more than they hit the back, but I've always believed that you can get a lot of activation of those muscles on the back of your body through burpees. Navy SEALs for sure hit the lats and the traps, there's no doubt about that. But what I'm finding is that adding this toe touch is the missing ingredient for stimulating the hamstrings. Okay, check it out. If I start my burpee just putting my hands straight to the ground, okay, watch what my body's doing. Okay, to get to that position, I'm squatting. And so I'm activating mostly the muscles that get activated in a squat. Whereas, okay, so compare, that's the way my body looks from the profile when I'm coming down in the normal way. But now look at the way my body looks when I'm touching my toes. It's a completely different movement. Like I said, it mimics the Romanian deadlift. There's the hip hinge, okay, and the hamstrings are getting a work. And what I found is that just, of course, doing that once, twice, 10 times isn't going to do much for the hamstrings, but if you do that every single rep, you're adding some much needed hamstring stimulation into the movement. And so you're just enhancing your burpee, taking it that one step further towards being a complete movement, a movement that taxes every single muscle group in the body, including the posterior chain. It definitely makes the workouts harder. It definitely adds another 5% of difficulty, so that for me 306 counts with this toe tap feel much harder than 306 counts just going all out. I'm still getting all of that squat activation, both when I then go into the rep out of the toe touch and certainly when I come out of it, but I'm adding a new element as well. So I hope this video helps. I hope that some of you consider trying out this toe tap method. Remember, it's not part of the count, it's something that we do to mark the beginning of the rep. And like I say, I found that it's really been hitting the old hamstrings pretty hard, so I'm very happy with this new incorporation in my technique. Hope that helps, my friends. See you all again soon for another Busy Dad video. Take care.